Hello YouTube and welcome to this double battle video. Today I'm going to be bringing you Battle 44 and Battle 46 of the Avatar Conquest series. This is the first one is on the foothills and I'm playing Napoleon 2707 and my opponent here I think was 3-star or 4-star, maybe 2-star, I can't remember, but he was less level than me, and so you're going to see that my army is going to reflect that. I brought Lone Sword Eshigaru for the first time in my life. I really don't like these units. I've got two of them, 2 Yari Eshigaru right here at the back, supporting them. It's always important to bring spear units. And then I've got a Katana veteran, and they only have 1 experienced chevrons, and these have the Kaji no Seikon. Kaji means fire, so these guys are the stigma of fire. Anyway, on the left I've got 1 unit of Yari Cav, and they're the Kaji no Seikon, the stigma of the wind. And they have 1 chevron, and back here, somewhere in the right, where did they go? Yep, I've got them hidden in the trees. I don't know why I did that, but here they are, another unit of Kazeno Seikon. My opponent's force, well, he's got a light cab and a Yari cab on each flank. The light cab is over here, and Yari cab is on the right. He's got 2 Lone Sword Eshigaru, 2 of them they're actually veterans, 3 Katana Samurai, and his general. And he's got some nice colors, nice and bright. You can see red, white, and black seem to be very, popular colors online, or so I've noticed so far. That and blue seems to be very popular as well. And you can see that these these Ashigaru units are wearing what was called the Hara-Ate armor. And Hara-Ate is not the same armor that your samurai are wearing, so if we back up here, you can see that the armor that the samurai wear is much different, and it's a misconception that people think that this was actually made of steel. That's not actually correct. The armor of the samurai was made up of, it was an intricate process, but basically it's made up of leather and silk. And I'll throw some statistics at you later if I can remember them off the top of my head. You can see here that the cav fights are about to start on both flanks. I know that my cavalry can take his cavalry easily, especially with my charge bonus on this unit. And I am going to form them in diamond, and forming them in diamond is actually going to win me this fight quite easily. And here comes the charge right into the middle of their unit, and you can see that their numbers are going to drop significantly. The same thing is going to happen on the right, and I think my opponent saw that move, that I formed a diamond, and he also formed a diamond, but he is going to be charging uphill, so it's not going to be as much of a bonus. But yeah, as I was saying, I am going to win both fights on the left and on the right with the cavalry. But this armor, the set of armor that a samurai would wear, actually had 250 yards of silk that bound the pieces together, and they bound together some 3,000 individual pieces of hardened leather. So it's actually made of leather, and it's very light and flexible. The leather, it's easy to wear it on horseback, and it's easier to move when you're in close combat. So it fits the the setting in the ideology of medieval Japan. And it was humid in Japan, so if you did wear steel, it would rust, and they didn't want that. So yeah, just a little bit of history there for you. I'm gonna try to add a little bit of history into my videos just to make it a little bit more interesting. But you can see here that I pretty much, as I said, won both fights, and I'm just gonna station my cavalry here. My opponent didn't bring any spear units, and this is going to be his downfall. He's not going to be able to actively chase away my cavalry. He's not going to be actively able to pin my cavalry down. And it's always a good idea to bring at least 2 spear units, whether they're Ashigaru or Yari Samurai, just to counter cavalry. And if you're playing against an experienced player, he'll probably, if you have 2 of these units, he'll probably just go ahead and pull your guys out of formation and still do charges on your lines. You can see here that I just did a charge on his general, and because he doesn't have spear units, he's going to try to answer with his Katana Samurai. His general's starting to waver. He's down to 10 men. I'm going to get out of there, and I'm actually also forming up my main line. And you can see that the reason I've brought such a sword concentrated army is, well, I'm going to put these guys into spear wall and guard mode, and this is going to allow me to pin my opponent on one flank, which is something I usually like to do. It would have worked better if I had Nodachi Samurai, but my sword units are going to be able to do a good job now, especially seeing that look at here, my opponent is trying to catch my cavalry with his katana units, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to charge right into his general, and there is the general, and he's still fighting. and I am going to kill him, I believe. Is he going to die? Yep, he dies right there, and that is going to pretty much change, just make the infantry fight go my way. You can see here that these Ashigaru units are still holding. I take these guys out of spear wall, hit a flank, engage a charge, and I'm also flanking from the left, so this battle is pretty much over. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of history that I put into here, and yeah, I'm going to be bringing you the next one right now, so enjoy that too. Hello YouTube, and welcome again. This is going to be the 46th Avatar Conquest battle, and today I'm bringing you something different. This was not a match mode battle. This was a battle that I hosted myself, and the reason for this is, I don't know if you could tell, same banners means same clan, and yes, I am fighting Matsuda Ashigaru, or M202748. We're just going to call him Ashigaru. So this was an inter-clan battle. You can see that our forces are fighting in the fog today, and I set it for autumn in the fog just because I think it's going to be really pretty, and it turned out to be really nice. Anyway, my force is composed of 2 units of Boa Shigaru, 5 Katana Samurai, and 2 Yari Samurai. My real veterancy is only existent in my Cav department. I've got 1 unit of Kazeno Seikon, and they've got 2 experienced chevrons each. Here's Matsuda Kage himself. Still no armor due to the bug. And here's some close-ups for you guys. Going here over to the right, in these trees, I've got a unit of light cavalry. And my opponent, well, he's got 2 units of cav here. One's a light, one's a Yari. Non-veterans, they're trying to capture this building. I'd simply move my bow cavalry and my bow Yashigaru into range and try to hit them. I missed this here. I've got 2 Yari cav units actually. One's a veteran, one's not. You can see that my opponent here is trying to move in, and he's going to actually try to charge into my Boa Shigaru, but he's going to run head straight into my Yari Samurai, who didn't take it as much, as nicely as I wanted them to, maybe because they weren't lined up properly, but they do get up. And then I'm going to use my bow cavalry here and go towards his left flank, well, his right flank, and annoy him, and here I'm just engaging in a fight. And I wanted to make a point about the bow cavalry, and believe it or not, the accepted form of battle in say 12th and before, maybe around the 13th, I'd say up to the 14th century medieval Japan, was the bow-mounted samurai unit. They weren't foot soldiers as you'd picture them now. That happened much later, towards the 14th and 15th centuries, but at the times of say the First and Second Crusades. In Japan, the main way to fighting was using the bow on horseback, and yeah, I thought that would be an interesting thing to know. This little rush of units came much later, in about the 14th and 15th century, when Daimyos came about, and I'll talk more about that in later videos. But today, adding a little bit of history backbone to my videos. But before I do that, let's take a look at my my opponent's army. I kind of forgot about that. He's got a lot of infantry, 3 units of Lone Sword Ashigaru on the right, some veterans, and here he's got the Assassin's Katana Samurai unit, and you can see that they're flamboyant green, easy to spot on the battlefield. He's got 3 units of these spear units, and you can see that I'm using my bows to kind of distract his Lone Sword Ashigaru, and I'm going to charge them down. Excuse me, with my cavalry. And I'm using my Yari cavalry here to do a frontal charge on these guys. And you can see that they're not going to like that charge at all. They're going to go down to about 110 men. And now they're going to keep going down in one charge, which is amazing. Over here, the same result. So you can see that my opponent does have, a lot of veterans in his army. I chose not to bring veterans because he was 2 levels below me. So yeah. So going back to what I was saying about the historical backbone. Today I wanted to talk about the word Shogun. What is where did Shogun come from, and what are its historical origins? I've been doing some reading and researching myself, and it all starts with a man called Minamoto Tametamo, and this guy was supposedly like a huge giant guy. You can see here that I'm using my cavalry to move around his spear units, and I've got a charge in the back of his archers. But I'll let you guys watch here. So yeah, this guy was supposedly a giant. He was more than about 6 feet tall, and you know, in medieval Japan, I'm guessing that's considered huge. Even in today's standards, that's considered huge. So he was 6 feet tall, and his right arm was 6 inches longer than his left arm. So he could you know, stretch and draw the bow longer than you know, your average bowman. And at one point in his life, he was exiled because of his military potence. And he was actually, it was actually said that, you know, one of these days where he was exiled, you know, the people who exiled him tried to invade his island, and myth has it that he took down a bunei with one missile. You know, he sunk a whole ship with a single arrow, which I find hilarious, to be honest. But you know, it starts with him, but the real man of the issue is his nephew. His nephew was called Minamoto Yoritomo, I think, and you know, this was the guy that really introduced the word shogun. And the way he introduced it was, well, he didn't particularly introduce it per se, but he was such a very powerful, you know, and tactical military figure that the emperor of Japan at the time dubbed him shogun. The word shogun dates back, you know, to when Japan was, you know, still a young empire, and it's a word that basically was used to describe, you know, a general who fought the barbarians at the gates, you know, of ancient Japan, and that's what the man was. And before him, the word shogun wasn't really a permanent word; it was like a temporary title kind of thing. But when he came around, he started introducing things like, you know, administrative changes and stuff like that. And he made the emperor and shogun relationship kind of like, you know, the royal family and the, you know, prime minister relationship in, say, England. And so, yeah, with him, the idea of a shogun started, you know, the administrator of the land. And from that day, the shogun became, you know, related to the emperor. The emperor became, you know, sort of like a pope religious figure. And the shogun was the guy who, you know, made the real calls. And yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know. The reason I'm talking about history here is because, well, not much is happening in the battle. You saw there that I did charge his general. My infantry are going to win the fight easily because I did outmaneuver him on several fronts. And here are the rest of my katana, and they're going to clash with his single katana unit. And this should be a walk in the park. I've been trying to get closer for you guys to make up for what some might think is boring talk. If you think that, you know, all these history little backdrops aren't your thing, let me know. I'll try to cut them down, but I thought it would be interesting for you guys to just hear a little bit about the game, as I said in my last video, and, you know, where all these things that you're seeing come from and stuff like that. I definitely find it interesting to know about, you know, the history and the culture. You can see here that these guys, oh, that guy got cut. He's going to start rounding. At this point, the battle has pretty much been set. The reason I wanted to show you this battle was because I really liked the fog, and I really thought, in a foggy battle, I play it in like this perspective, so it's really difficult to kind of tell our units out, and we did have the same banners, so map control was everything here. It was very important to dissect my opponent. You could see that, or you saw that I pretty much split his forces in several places, used my cavalry to full advantage in the fog, and did some quick strikes on him. And you can see here that his last unit of assassins or katana samurai are going to make a stand, and they're fighting Yari samurai and the coming katana samurai hordes. And here they are. It's going to be their last stand. And here is Matsuda Kage, and he didn't lose a single man in this battle, so hoorah for him with his general's bodyguard. And my opponent's forces are going to start. No, that's actually my forces. They're wavering, but I do inspire one of them. And this katana unit took 3 experience chevrons in this battle. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. As I said, map control is very important. And yeah, remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.